Hello and welcome to Teatime and Tarot. This is day 25 of the Monday through Friday Tarot Journal. That is Teatime and Tarot. If you've been following along, journaling along, checking in up to this point, welcome to February 2021 on Teatime and Tarot. We are moving into, well, we're actually in Mercury retrograde at the moment, so if you like to work with the astrological influences, communications might be difficult or confusing or illusory throughout the majority of February. But if you applied appropriately, taking the time that you need to process and acclimate and embrace decisions, contracts, agreements, all of those things, taking the time to get all of the information and all of the answers and considering how you feel about those things throughout February up until the 22nd, I believe we come out of the retrograde, is going to be beneficial for you. It allows time and space for you to make the most beneficial and advantageous decision for yourself. So beware of signing contracts and agreements for new opportunities throughout February. Make sure you check all the details, get all the information, and that what you think it is, it actually is. Okay, that's just a bit of advice there. So we have Queen of Cups. So starting off from a space of emotional understanding and wellness and flow. This is water on water. So it's someone who's feeling in their element, completely at one with, especially in their emotional spaces. And then we have Three of Pentacles. All right, leaning into creation, continuing to set up those practices and engage in those skills and those activities that bring you into alignment with routine of what it is that you're developing in your external world. We have the Eight of Cups, so continuing to move on from those things that no longer fulfill you, those things that no longer serve you, all right, and employing your strength of purpose and integrity and behavior and intention to detach from any emotional tie that might want to snap you back onto the previous path, being aware that that's not going to be advantageous to anyone in that circumstance. It's just keeping you stuck. So continuing to move along the new path. Seven of Wands. So that is standing your ground. That Chariot is still progressing for you. All that momentum of possibility and opportunity and development and activity. It's still approaching. It's still on the way. So hold your ground, continuing looking into the future. Get a bird's eye view of the lay of the land ahead of you so that you have the information that you need to move forward and agree to connect with opportunities that come along the way towards the end of February. And then at the bottom we have the Empress, and that is the point of divine feminine. Understanding creation, understanding what that takes, what that involves. It's a flourishing energy, so it's in support of what it is that you want to create, even within the Mercury retrograde. Understanding that, yes, you do need to take the time to allow things to develop, and it's not going to be instant response. It's not going to be, everything doesn't come all at the same time. And sometimes what comes is confusion and obstacle and points of adversity to work through, but that is on purpose because there's something within those situations you need to learn. And then also, she is the card of Venus as well, and Venus and Jupiter, I believe, are both in Aquarius right now. So that is about the expansion of the attraction and the reciprocity and magnetism, and who is it that's going to be interested in what it is that you're developing here. So taking the time to process through all of the opportunity that comes into connection with you, recognizing what's in alignment with your purpose and will support the growth that you want to develop, and then also recognizing which one of those opportunities is not in alignment with those things that you want to say no to. So understanding what is required of you in a creative process over the long term from a confident core of potential. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. So still willing to step out, still willing to take that risk, be open-spirited, open-minded, willing to learn along the way. Beautiful way to start the month. And then at the top of the deck, King of Cups, being emotionally mature, emotionally masterful, understanding flow, not being ruled by emotions, but rather reigning and allowing those emotions, acknowledging them when they happen, but then allowing those things to process through. Waiting and responding and considering and then regaining equilibrium and not being tossed about within the water, but, treading water and deciding what direction you want to go within that space as well, how you want to navigate that. So what lies between the two is the Hierophant. Again, seeking higher knowledge, greater information, grounding that all that emotion and fire and air, grounding that with earth to make it sustainable and malleable to develop over time. Also may be helpful to speak to a Taurus. It's card of Taurus. But being aware of the systems that you're working within, the institutions, traditional wisdom, the hierarchy of things, any professional consultation that you require in order to process what it is that you're developing, what it is that you are embracing, what it is that you're releasing. If you need assistance with that, seeking the correct professional to get you started, and then coming to a point of awareness and knowledge and education and understanding to where you can take that knowledge, embrace the risk, be confident within your receptive ability, because you have the divine pair here as well, the King and Queen of Cups. So that is receptive, what you're receptive to, connecting with and walking away from, and then being creative and innovative within that space. All right. And let's clarify. Ooh. Five of Wands with the Queen of Cups. Okay. So Five of Wands is testing your skills. A little sparring match in the fire zone. So in your activity. So there may be conflict, especially in Mercury retrograde, with what you're trying to do and then how it's received or how it develops. Where you're strong and where you require some improvement, some additional skill, additional practice in order to improve, to get to the level that you want to be at. But you're not going to allow that to defeat you when it's coming from the space of the Queen of Cups. All right. She's fine. She's fine with the Queen of Cups. So whatever failures or successes you have when you're moving through the Five of Wands space, engaging in those things consistently over time that are going to allow you to develop your skill to the point of mastery. The Queen of Cups emotional balance and wellness and engagement with flow is supporting you through all of that. You're not going to be emotionally defeated. You're not going to feel like, oh, I can't do this. You're like, okay, I'm not doing it as great as I'd like to, but I'll get better. That kind of awareness of self through the process of development. And then clarifying the Three of Pentacles. We have Six of Swords. So that is deciding to move on to what's next. You are traveling over water, so moving from choppy waters into smoother sailing. That's the emotional realm. Water in the cards represents the emotional realm. So you already have the Queen of Cups in play. So traveling over that water isn't going to be problematic for you. And you're moving into calmer waters onto new shores. So seeking out new realms of potential and experience with what it is that you're practicing. So potentially adding on new skills through January if you've set up skills and habits and engaged in whatever your New Year's resolution is, whatever it is that you decided to develop throughout the year. You've been following through on those things, and this may be moving into the next stage of development within those spaces. So from the novice to a more intermediate point of creative process in the external. Clarifying Eight of Cups is justice. So balance, equanimity, forgiving the past, especially when you're moving away from things that no longer serve you, things that are no longer fulfilling, things that are no longer for you in the emotional space. Taking a fair and balanced and objective look on why things were the way that they were, for good or for bad. You know, it's not all weighted toward why, you know, things that hurt you or disappointed you, why those things happened, but the good stuff too. You know, taking a fair and balanced look at the entire picture so that you can come to a point of equilibrium, readjust, forgive those things that need to be forgiven, embrace those things that you want to carry forward in awareness and capability, and also how you're going to connect those things to the future and getting a bird's eye view of the lay of the land and how you want to develop forward. Because Libra, with justice, it's also about your connections in relationships. So connections to systems, but also connections and relationships with people as well. How everything comes together in this fascinating concoction of sort of what your life looks like when looking down from above, and the road that you've walked and the road that you're embarking upon going on. So making plans from a point of balanced mind and wellness within your thoughts and your estimation of why things were the way they were and why you're moving in the direction that you are going. Okay, Seven of Wands, clarify. Seven of Wands in the Hierophant. All right, you're still getting information. You're still checking out systems. You're still figuring out how things work together. You're still gaining information that you need to employ along the way, even from this higher plane. You're holding your ground, but you're seeking even higher ground. So you're not resting on your laurels here. You're still looking into the details, talking to who you need to talk to. Within traditional institution and traditional wisdom and traditional education and the hierarchy of institution as well, to understand that to a point to where you can then innovate and create within that space and utilize those spaces and connections to your benefit. So still seeking out education and greater information. And then we have the Empress. So clarify the Empress for me, please. Too many. Ooh. The Empress. Okay. Oh, at the bottom of the deck you have the World. So we had the World reversed, I believe, last week. It's right side up again this week. So a whole new world is opened. Whatever it is, whatever realization or epiphany that you may have come upon, if this is connecting with you, you've sort of processed through it. And now from this new point of vision, this new understanding that you have of justice, of what it is that you're walking away from, and then also what it is that you're walking towards, has come to a point of resolution and awareness that is allowing you to embrace the Empress spirit and Venus here about what you're attracting to you, how you're showing up, how you're seen, and the expansive energy of Jupiter as well, allowing you to take things into the world with this new understanding of what the world is, because it's different than it was before if you're connecting with that. Clarifying the Empress, we have, okay, wow, the Two of Wands. So if you've been, I think last week or the week before, we had the Two of Wands quite a bit. And that's about sort of standing in a position of stalling on your activity, was the impression that I was getting. You had the world in your hands. You were supported by knowing what you needed to do next, but you were looking into the void and sort of detached and not active in actually following through on what you know you needed to do. In this Two of Wands, this little bunny here is put down the world, let go of the staff, and is turning in the direction of response. So it's not detached anymore, it's engaged. It's like, oh, over there. All right, time to do it. And then we have the Star, destiny, what's working behind the scenes in the universe to align things in your favor, to bring the opportunities to you or bring you into connection with the opportunities. So opening up all of the potential and having trust and faith that everything in its own time, you will come in connection with what you need to come into connection with. All right. And then when you arrive at those connections, it's up to you to decide with the Two of Wands how to interact with those things. And then the Chariot. That is momentum built up behind you, a point of command. All of this potential and chaos and opportunities and situations and information and purpose, everything surrounding that. This is a call to action to take the point of command within there and direct all of that energy where you would like it to go. That's backing up the Empress here, and that's beautiful, and that's in this new understanding of the world that you have and the potential that it holds as well. So that is remarkable. A lot to consider for February. We have this is the universe has your back. And also I've started posting the February overviews. I think I have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer are all available. If you want to check that out, I will link the playlist at the end of the video. Also, if you're interested in extended readings, I've opened a Patreon, so if you'd like to subscribe there for the extended readings, you'll have access to all of the signs with the Patreon. If you want to sign up there, that would be wonderful. I'd appreciate that. If not, please subscribe, like, share, comment. If you'd like to support the channel, that would be very helpful to me, and I would be very grateful to you for it. And we have the universe has my back. All right. So collectively, things are becoming aligned in the external to support the development and your experience within this new understanding of the world that you have right under there. You have the Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. So there is still opportunity and connection coming towards you. The Wheel of Fortune was all over the readings last week. The Ace of Cups was there as well. So take the time to understand what it is that you need. Consider with calm balance how things are connecting, how things are lining up, what it is that you're coming from, where it is that you're going to, and what you want to agree to along those developments. And also with the Mercury retrograde, being very careful about committing and signing contracts, long-term contracts, going forward without a detailed understanding of what that is going to involve and require from you. All right, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you are excited for what's going to be developing in February, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.